Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Garage Days, where we are fearless but never reckless. We got myself in the house, Beans. What's going on, everybody? We got another other co-host, Howard the Shaman. She Chop, what up?
Hey, go blue.
Go Blue. Hey, you see him repping the Dodger Blue tonight, you know. Then we got our boy Tay in the house. What up, Tay?
Going on, fellas?
Then we got three of our best guests, right? We got Melly Mel in the house. What's up, Mel? We got our boy Josh in the house and our boy Terrell in the house. You know, they ain't out here grinding like they're supposed to. So huge shout out to y'all for taking time to, spend some parts of your day with us, even while you're grinding right now. We appreciate and love y'all for it.
Back to Terrell, he knocked out 20 push-ups already.
Oh, yeah. It was kind of dangerous. It looked like he was on the side of the road.
Man, oh my mama.
Like the same road the kid got hit in the pet cemetery. That should look like.
The 17, we just got off that sucker. We all working together.
I love that movie.
Yeah, right on. But
work together? All
right. So let's go ahead and hop right on in. Oh, another thing, let me shout out the Pac-12. You know, I always get a Pac-12 hail, specifically UCLA. And, them boys undefeated right now. So I'm going to just shout out UCLA, real repping the UCLA hat.
Best in the Pac-12, going to destroy SC when it's that time.
Okay. We'll see. But let's go ahead and hop into our first topic of the day. I'm sorry, let me move this down, which is academic success versus character success, right? Are they one or the same? Is one more important than the other? A lot of the times, of course, we preach to everybody, our children, everybody want their kid to have the best academic success, the honor roll, get the honor roll sticker, 3.0s and all of that type of stuff. But is academics more important than having character? I would even add, and I know it's not one of the choices I originally said, but I'll also add, is academic success more important than athletic success? If you're a student athlete, a lot of people have a lot of different views. And I won't share mine just right at this moment. Turn that over to the shaman. Let him go ahead and speak on the first. Howard.
Hey, first of all, nigga, you tried to get real Theo 92.3. You slowed that voice down. Everything. You slowed it down.
I'm gonna pass it to the shaman.
Yeah, you had me over here like, yo, who's this Theo? But man, I think character must over everything. You ain't got no character, bro. You go slide and maneuver through this world and be subject to all type of shit. You got to stand on something. I mess with academic success somewhat because I know that shit is futile and it's here and there. You feel me? It's all dependent upon which industry you get in and even the job that you get. If they like you or not, you got a degree, but if they like somebody else, your degree don't mean shit. You feel me? So it's all dependent. But academic success, especially because we all have to go the academic route at some point. And you can win doing that shit. You feel me? My nigga, she's Morehouse man. You feel me? You can win doing that shit. You feel me? So it's a part of it. And then athletic success, I think hinges more on, in my opinion, than the building of the character, because you got to be a strong-willed motherfucker to be able to go through those workouts and then also go do the academic part to be able to stay on the field. That comes with a certain level of character. So if I had to rank them, characters will always be number one with me. And then I'm gonna put academics over athletics because you can't even get on the field if your academics not right. You feel me? So, but above all, character is by far number one for me. It's above all everything.
Okay, right on. Can necessarily not agree. Anyone else want to go ahead and chime in and give your perspective?
Say character is number one, bro. Character pretty much, is going to show everybody who you are, my nigga, and showing people who you are. I think you can build towards the academics. It's your personality. Who the fuck are you? Like, my bad, bleep that out. But who are you? That's all I got to say on that, man. You got to show people who you are in order to get that academic success.
Right on. And just to let everyone know, from my understanding, we can use profanity. We can curse, so feel free to be yourself. I think you just have to put like explicit language and, some type of thing on YouTube or whatever service platform we decide to stream on. So go ahead and be yourself. It's hard to cuss. But
we can't talk about certain topics. be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, I'm oh, go ahead. Take my bad. Go ahead.
I'm done, bro. Go ahead.
Man, for me, it's I'm gonna take the long road, right? Where I feel like academics, it's important because it teaches us so much about who we are and the fight, the the integrity of the work, the discipline to get the work done. My issue with it though, a lot of that stuff is not transferable, right? So I understand what goes with it, but at the same time, the things that we need to be successful people, that's not what they teaching, right? Private school right down the street, St. John Bosco, they're the first school in the country to make a financial literacy program part of their requirement starting in 2023. Like that's the tangible piece, right? That I feel like that so many of us are missing. But I'm gonna say character. There's a lot of rich people out here with shitty souls. We got enough of those. You know what I mean? It's not enough people that show compassion. It's not enough people that are showing empathy, and it's not enough people that are just. We talk about grace all the time. So for me, bro, like it has to be character. And then lastly, a lot of people say, "Oh, you kind of intelligent, you smart." I learned to be this. I didn't read my first book until I was 23. You feel me? So it's so many aspects of it to where you can learn to get by with just kind of just doing the work. But if it's not transferable, I mean, Beans, in the field we work in, it's a lot of people with a whole bunch of letters behind their name, but can't critically think for shit.
Absolutely.
Right. So give me somebody that's willing to work, that's willing to embrace the grind and that's selfless. We can figure everything else out. But it's the shitty motherfucker that you can't invite to your house because they steal. You know what I'm saying? That's what I can't rock with.
Absolutely. Okay. I definitely agree. And before I give our guests a chance to share their perspectives, I'm going to go ahead and agree with character being number one. And honestly, it may be looked at the wrong, frowned upon, but it is what it is. I'm going to go with athletic success is more important to me. And the reason why I say that is because you could be a straight A student at Centennial High School, at Compton High School, Linwood, wherever you went, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to college for free. You could be a straight A. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have the chance at millions of dollars, financial wealth, or anything like that, right? But if you're a straight A athlete, All-American, it opens up different doors, right? So for me, and I'm going to say this, I don't have a son, but if I did, I would prefer, rather than my son be a straight A student and be an average to below average athlete, I'd rather my son be a C level student, C to B level student, and be a All-American in football or basketball, whatever sport. And that's just me. And I also think it changes based on gender, right? And I know this sounds silly too, but it is how it is. One of the worst things a girl could be is stupid to me, right? A dumb girl or a dirty girl, all that stuff is some of the worst shits in the world a female can be in my mind.
Expound on that a little bit, don't mind, brother. Why?
Because as a woman, I don't know, man. It's like, so as a boy, I mean, we hear the term dumb jocks, right? And the dumb jock doesn't mean that the jock is really dumb. It probably means that he has some challenges academically. But if he can, so I'll say this, I feel like I'm one of those guys. I wasn't the smartest in the class ever, but what I was a problem solver. What I was is, if I have this weakness, I'm going to get this person to cover up that weakness for me, or I'm going to problem solve my way to get this something done. And to me, that's just more important. And for a woman, let's just be honest, female athletes don't make nearly as much as a male athlete. And I'm not saying sports is end all be all, but let's be honest, sports are important. That's why they have some of the highest salaries in today's world, because it matters. So for a female who can't necessarily make the income of a top female can't make the same income or close to it as a top male athlete, I feel like the academics has to be that gap. It has to bridge, and it has to be the compensation. That's just my perspective on it.
I don't think you're wrong though, as far as the athletic component, right? Because the athletic piece is, there's things in football, basketball, mostly team sports, right, that you will learn that are transferable, unlike things that we learn in school. So just because I'm not achieving academically, it doesn't mean that I'm not getting those same principles, right? And I'm still not learning those same abilities, because again, we all work in an industry that requires us to work with other people. And Y'all work with some people that ain't team. Like, you know what I mean? You walk in a
Absolutely.
motherfucker quickly and be like, oh, you didn't play sports growing up. No, how did you know?
Exactly.
I can tell.
Exactly.
And you don't look out for nobody but for yourself. So I wouldn't say, I don't know if I'm willing to put it above, but I wouldn't say you're wrong.
Yeah. I think another thing too. So you brought up a good point. She just in our field or any field that you work in, right? It's rare that the smartest person in the room is running a company. Normally it's not like that, right? Normally it's the person who have the best people skills, right? The person who can influence someone to do something that they want to get done, right? A problem solver, right? That's what I'm saying. Those skills are more important. You could take a guy, a physics guy, a chemistry guy, whatever. They're great in the classroom, first of their class. But when you remove them out that physics class, what can they do? Because they don't have the people skills. They don't have the other skills, right? So to me, it's just more important to have the character, the career. I think being a leader takes a certain charisma. And I think that athletics help build that charisma, right? Or and sometimes too, just I'm rambling now, but sometimes it's hard upbringing and shit too, stuff too, because I feel like it just builds a certain grit, a sense of just problem solving abilities, and that not everyone academics can do. But I want to go ahead and take this time to chime in and check in with some of our guests if they want to get their perspective.
Okay, I'm speaking this into fruition. The way you just did that, I'm taking some time to get my guests. In a couple years, you'll be like, I'm taking this time to give a shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to Corona. Like, I like that. I like the way that sounded right there. You did that.
Yeah. I don't know about Corona, but
I won't give a shit who it is, as long as they paying.
They paying for the show.
Right on. Hopefully we can be a shout out to Bet MGM Sports. You know, something like that too. But
better not ever give it. You shouldn't be.
I know. Anybody want to go ahead and chime? Josh, I am curious to hear your perspective. I know that you coach. I know that you deal with kids and stuff that still developing their character, whether they have a positive male in the household, or if you're just that positive male, or whatever the case may be. But I am interested to hear what you have to say. Do you think character or academics are more important, or whatever?
Academics.
Okay.
Just being honest, academics. Most of the people that I know that went to school because of, let's say, athletics, most of them always complain that they got a partial scholarship. And so that means like that's taking more out your pocket, where academics at the end of the day, I feel like it goes a long way. But like, I know you were saying like with sports and everything, like how I would put it in order. Sure, academics, sports, then character.
Okay.
Character being last, because like every coach is different. I remember my coach saying like some coaches, well, with me coaching, seeing how it was at different high schools. When I was at Cerritos, like the coaches they wanted were blue collar coaches because the guy was from Notre Dame. So the type of coach that I am and my brother was, he was like, nah, they have a quote
too
unquote,
rough around the edges or whatever, or they not the standard blue collar guy,
right? And so they don't want those guys. Where a guy like in Compton or Long Beach, they're like, nah, we want that guy because he relates to our kids. So it depends on what in character. I'll say last. It depends on what type they want. Everybody want, like, I know the coaches like St. Pius and Salesian, they want the hooders of the hooders. They want the kids that nobody wants. That's what they want. Where like Bosco, they'll probably want the kids who, hey, look, he's gonna just shut up and do his job.
Are you speaking from a coaching perspective or a father perspective?
Coaching perspective. From a father perspective, like, to be honest, it's the same thing. I want a dog. I want to act like, I want you to be smart, be able to play what's name, but also at the same time, like, be an asshole.
Okay.
Like be an asshole.
And you brought up a good point, or you another just discuss kind of another avenue with this is character subjective. And I think that's one of the things Josh is alluding to, right? So for some people, that's good character. For some others, it's not good character.
That's a real good point, actually.
You know, and it's not good. And I do hate this about athletics, but we all know the better athlete you are, the more shaky your character could be, at least early on. and you still get by, right? It just at some point in time that full character gonna show, right? Antonio Brown is a prime example. He's always been Antonio Brown, but he was producing at such a high level, things were swept under the rug, kept in house, overlooked. But it's a certain time, all that shit it is gonna come out eventually.
So the next question, right, on the same concept, Beans, and I'm interested to hear your perspective on this, right? I'm interested to hear your perspective. When athletically speaking, culture or talent?
Mm. I'm definitely gonna go with the culture.
1000% agree.
Definitely gonna go with
Seen
culture.
I've never seen a talented team win it. Every team that wins it, they're rooted in culture, right?
Mhm.
And so if we're talking to, if we're taking Chip's analogy, we know what those kids are. That's the Long Beach Jordan. Yeah, they by far better than, I don't know, let's just say Orange Lutheran. But when it's time to put it together when it counts, they ain't gonna beat Olu.
Not at all.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And then a lot, when you talk about culture and talent, a lot of that stuff, because of how we're conditioned from the city, that seeps into our real life. And now what we deal with, Beans, now you can't keep a job.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So it's not as shaky as we think. All that shit is interwoven into, you know, were you a coachable athlete, Beans? Can I give you constructive criticism in your profession? You know, some of us we can't tell them nothing. So it's not so far different, bro.
You're absolutely right. It generalizes throughout life. You're absolutely right. And that's one of the beautiful things about sports that academics don't necessarily give you. The lessons and the things you go through, right? Or if you're in the training camp and you a whole month and ain't nobody on campus but you and 80 other guys, right? Y'all fighting, y'all's crying, y'all running, sweating, bleeding together, fighting, trying to figure out your next meal together. That type of bond, that type of character and grit that's developed from that, it typically generalizes and translates to other areas in life when just going to school doesn't always do that. Howard, I seen you with your hand raised, go right ahead. And then Cam, thanks for popping in on us, man. Definitely don't want you to go unnoticed. We're gonna
like
chat back in with you in just a bit, Cam, as soon as Howard's done. Go ahead, Howard.
I just want to say you hosting your ass off right now. You took a week off and you done came back on fire.
He don't want that right up, bro.
No, look, we gotta get niggas their flowers. We ain't like Nord. We ain't got no flowers, but I gotta salute without it's time to salute. You feel me? You on fire. I was gonna say you and she kind of changed my perspective. I did. You're right. There is certain things that academic is failing. So for me to put academics above athletics, there's certain team building principles. There's certain like toughness. There's certain grit. There's certain like hard work. There's certain ethics that comes with being in athletics, and I mean in academics too. But listen to y'all speak. Yeah, academics should be failing the kids in certain aspects. You feel me? And shout out to, you said Bosco She that's doing the financial thing.
Yep.
Shout out to Bosco for leading the way on that, because you know how it is, bro. We got out of school, we didn't know nothing. They're like, yo, go. It's like, yo, we're not prepared. You know what I mean? So y'all changed my perspective. Appreciate that.
And one last thing too, before I turn it over to Cam, if he's willing to share his perspective, is that
she.
I'm sorry.
She.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, things like
my bad.
Something like that.
And put the his, her, him. Put that up there.
Cam working HR. You better stop playing.
Hey, that's why I say, put the his, her, him up there. But another thing that bothers me about academics is it's not fair and clean cut across the board. That's another reason why it ain't up there for me, right? You could be valedictorian in the state of North Dakota, move to California, and be at the bottom of your damn class, right? So that's a whole nother thing. States curriculum standards and stuff like that is not equal, right? People expect more from certain people, so they give more, versus in the inner city and in the suburbs. So it's so all over the place academically. That's another reason why it's not all the way up there for me. But I'm sorry, I'm Miss Cam. Go ahead if you willing to share.
Sure. Well, what's up, you guys? Sorry, I'm a little bit late. It's dinner time here, but just something that you guys said in terms of, culture over talent. And actually, Sheed and I were talking about like character over academics. I guess that was last week. And I said character all the way because we can get a tutor for academics, right? Like you can read books, you can learn stuff. But like, if you're just a shitty person, if you're an asshole, like not really much I can do for you there, right? Like character, I think trumps academics, I won't bring in like the athletic part, but I guess it's the same thing, right? Like I have a son, he plays basketball, and like I want him to be a good sportsman. Like I don't want him to be an asshole on the court because it's 10-year-old assholes on the court. Um, you know, we can teach him skills, but I want him to be like I just want him to be a good person. Like there's enough assholes in this world, enough smart, educated, rich assholes. Like
Absolutely.
we need good people. And then what I put in the chat is just something we say in HR, which is just goes along to what you guys are talking about, which is culture eats strategy for breakfast, meaning you can have the best team, you can have the best plays, you can have the best whatever, but if you're not a team, if you're not a culture, if you're not, you know, hardworking, if you don't have all of those components, then it's not going to come together in game time. And I think that's what you guys are kind of talking about. So thank you for letting me share.
Of course, of course.
Thank you.
And Ms. Cam, if you don't mind me asking, where are you joining us from?
I'm in Texas.
Okay, Texas. All right. Shout out.
Yeah, I'm from California originally, but I live here now.
Oh, okay. All right. Just wondering. All right.
I'm using that one.
Hey, me too.
I'm using that. Oof.
Hey, and I'm gonna shout you out, Cam. I'm gonna say, you know, while I'm at work and I'm whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna shout you out. You know, this is not from me. I heard this from a woman, a young woman, but I'm gonna shout it out. That's good.
It's all good. I probably got it from a book, so you know, nothing is ever new. Nothing is ever new. Everything is borrowed, so it's all good.
All right. All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead, switch gears just a tad bit, you know, to something a lot less heavy, you know, a lot more just perspective based. Well, all of it is perspective based, but something, you know, a little lighter on today's show, and which is, we always like to throw in like one little fun question of the day, but which is, if you could choose one artist to play at a party for 4 hours, all you can listen to is that one artist, who would it be? To have your party jumping for 4 hours, who would it be? And anyone could go ahead and chime in. I'll share first if y'all want. But huh?
I'm gonna say Wayne.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Wayne for the simple fact that boy done been on more features than almost anybody. It's probably one other person that we spoke of, but Wayne up there, bruh. He got the R&B hits. He got the rap shit. So I think he'll have a party lit for 4 hours straight.
Right.
Absolutely. All right.
I mean, my person is it might be a little controversial because of what my man did. You tell me Kels can't rock a party for 4
Hey, I
hours?
knew you was about to say that when you said controversial.
No, it's controversial. No, Cam, I get it. Look, Cam, I got a little baby girl. Look, we had a whole subject about this. Like, the boy got emotional. But I watched Paid in Full, and that was made by Harvey Weinstein. I just watched it the other day. Like, you know, it's a subject of, from my opinion, of separating the art from the person. He's exactly where he needs to be for what he did. Everything he did, he's exactly where he needs to be. But man, that boy got his. But if I had to take that one away, listen, bro, we gotta keep it one.
I don't think you do though. I don't think you
don't.
do.
Oh, okay, cool.
You don't have to.
Yeah, thank you.
You don't. It's just
that's
like
the beauty of what we do. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
sorry, go
I
ahead.
wouldn't have said it.
Nah, it's Kels.
But in terms of artistry,
yeah. Like I just think. I mean, like I said, he's where he needs to be for what he did, and he needs to stay where he's at. But his music, I mean, it speaks for itself. I think Kels can go longer than anybody.
Okay.
To keep it one.
All
You
right.
feel me?
Yep. All right, Terrell, go ahead. I see you. Unmute yourself and go ahead and share.
All right. So you guys say party. I mean, like, cause it's kind of hard. 4 hours. Who really got 4 hours? He already said R. Kelly. I think the next would probably
Couldn't hear me breaking up.
4 hours. That's tough. Oh, can you hear me?
Now we can.
Yeah, you know.
Okay. No, I'm saying 4 hours is pretty tough. I don't know too many artists with 4 hours worth of good music that I want to listen to straight. But he already said R. Kelly, so I probably have to go with Usher, maybe.
Usher got 4. Good one too. Usher got 4. I'm telling you, Usher got 4.
Okay. Was definitely all right. Josh,
He
go
about to say
ahead.
Gucci, bro. He about to say Gucci.
Hey, you
I-
know I'm with that
I'm about
trap
to say,
shit too.
Hey, don't hate on WAP.
Go ahead, John. I'm with the trap shit.
Like whether people like him or not, I would say Drake. Like
He
Absolutely.
got four.
That's
up
fair.
there
He got
with
four.
he's up there in that same, like, in a sense, he's up there in that same category with Wayne. He
It ain't
has
no
a
in a
lot of
sense.
features.
I'm saying it's for show. It ain't no kinda. Like
Oh
he
yeah,
do.
yeah. Oh, okay. Like, yeah, he got features, he got hits. Like, what can you say? Whether it's regular rap or R&B or anything, like, he got hits.
Okay. All right. You ain't wrong.
Yep.
Beans, talk to us, bro. Let us hear your perspective.
I'm going with Chris Brown, man. And Hove, Fab, you know, those my favorite hip hop artists. But the reason I'm gonna go with Chris Brown, much like Tay said, he has so many features. He's across everything, right? If you want to slow the party down, if you want to amp it up with all of the Tiger hits and the Drake features, and he just got everything, man. So I have to go with Chris Brown.
I'm gonna get my wifey answer. I mean, y'all know I'm not very musically inclined. I like what I like, but my wife. I got to preface this by saying my wife is a dancer, so she instructed me to say Janet.
Hey,
I
look,
don't know. Janet going forward, bro. I ain't gonna
hey, I
lie.
don't know if
Respect.
Janet going forward, but Janet got them hits, got some hits.
Oh, Janet got some shit. You shitting me? Janet
Yeah,
got
she
some
got
shit.
hits.
Bro, you know, my people just came from this lady concert. I'm about to say right now. They said she rocked it for 3 hours and she didn't even go deep. Mary J. Blige can go
Oh,
full.
hell yeah, Mary J.
Mary can go full, bro. They said she
Hey.
rocked 3 hours straight and it didn't even hit everything.
And don't be going through nothing.
And don't be going.
But that ain't a party going through shit, but I hear y'all.
Shit. Yeah, it is. You don't think so?
Nah, hell no. You know,
Okay. All right.
nuh-uh. I don't want to sit there and listen to. I used to hate coming home and hearing my mama and them playing that no pain, that no gain, that
That's
shit
a
drinking wine.
classic. Don't you dare
Yeah, but I don't
disrespect
like
Betty.
shit like that. I hate
Don't
coming
you-
here. I don't like shit like that.
Bro,
I'll tell you, I used to
bro.
come home, I see my mom in the front yard watering grass with a cup in her hand. It'd be 1:00 in the morning. I'm coming home from the club or something. I already know what time it is. Pops gonna do something. She mad about that. I dinner, get back in my car and drive the other way, man.
Hey,
Yeah,
what about Beyonce?
I thought
Crickets
that
in
would
this
be easy.
motherfucker,
she can, but she ain't gonna fit everybody. I
She ain't
feel
gonna
like,
fit
you know,
Oh
some of
no,
the
she
other
got a wide
artists.
fan base. Y'all some secret Beyonce lovers. Don't
Oh,
act
no,
like y'all
I
not.
do. No, don't get me wrong, I do. But I feel like her up tempo, like all the single ladies, and like that's too hyper. Like it's too like I'm cool. You know,
Hey,
but you
Beans,
right though. I fuck with B.
I
4
feel
hours though.
She got 4 hours
For
of
sure.
Oh,
music.
she got full tape.
She got
Easily.
20
No.
hours of music.
I'm not saying the body of work isn't there, but I'm just saying, like, can y'all sit there at a party for 4 hours listening to Beyonce though?
bro, I got ADHD.
She got
I
so
can't sit
many
and listen
different
to songs from nobody.
sounds.
You do. I mean,
She
you
got
right.
different
she do.
sounds. You can do it for 4 hours.
I go crazy.
I think Cam part of the hive though. Look, I mean,
Yeah, okay, let me be
she
quiet,
hopped on
man.
quick.
I mean, I just know I'm around a whole bunch of men, so nobody was gonna say it. But if you bring it up,
Nah, look, I
you
rock
know
with
what the
Beyonce.
facts are.
I think Beyonce is probably at one point, she was the hardest working person in the industry.
Right.
You know, I mean, she was putting out music left and right, and then I seen some of how she trained and get ready for shows, running miles in heels while singing. Like she a beast. Don't get me wrong. And I've seen Beyonce in concert 3 times now. Beyonce a beast. I
You
like
part of the
Beast.
Beehive.
Huh?
You part of the Beehive.
Hey, let me tell y'all something. That the Netflix thing, the homecoming thing, man. I seen that shit 20 times. Probably.
That shit dope.
Yeah, that shit
Shit
dope.
dope is
Yeah,
bro.
I
Black is
fuck with
King.
that.
Black is King was dope.
Yeah, all of that shit.
You feel me?
I rest my case.
We just giving you props right now, Ken, because we don't want a whole bunch of bees in our chat right now. You know, you might
Hey,
call
Like,
numbers.
I'm bringing them next week. Just be ready.
Hey, look, hey, Cam got us exposing ourselves, being in the beehive and shit.
See what I'm saying?
Go ahead, and then we'll roll back over to you too, Josh. Go ahead,
Hey, bro, I kind of made a pinky promise to myself. I feel like we don't get enough of you on here, bro. So I know you're really into music. You do a great job hosting. But my question for you, if you can build your own Coachella with 3 to 5 artists,
Woo!
dead or alive.
Ain't that a hard ass question?
I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be a lot of trap music too.
That's cool. But 3 to 5 artists, your own Coachella.
and then I'm nasty too. So it's going. So first, I'm gonna put some Hove in there for the struggles. Fab and Hove, they always in there. Jeezy, Hove, it ain't even that hard. Hove, Fab, Jeezy, Chris Brown, Trey Songz. Matter of fact, I might move Trey out the way and put Tank in now. I don't know, man, but
Okay,
it'd be something like that.
I like it.
Most
All right,
definitely.
I was just curious, bro. Get the people a little something. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
interesting.
and I don't know if y'all get a chance to go to concerts a lot, but all of them dudes that I just named, best concerts I've ever been to as well.
Hey, I want you to ask what's her name, but I want she say you like what you like. What do you like, she?
I know, cause you always
I always
He
say that,
always say
right?
that.
never,
He
you
always
never
say
tell
that,
us
but he
what he
never
like.
say
You
what
just
he
say I
like,
like.
right?
I don't like his personality. I don't like his character, right? But I'm a huge Game fan lyrically. Boosie's probably one of my favorite artists. Um, I like old school Wayne. I love some Adina Howard. I like old school shit, like the Ron Isley. Like it's nothing it's gonna be like, oh, that's dope, but it's something that's gonna get me through the day.
Hey, let
You
me tell
want
you
to talk
something.
shit? You want to run
your
your
Run your
mouth?
mouth.
You want
Hey,
some
I'm telling
gangsters
you,
at your
them musical,
motherfucking house?
them musical choice lets us know who you was raised by. Like it sounds like who you were raised by.
Facts.
Like this
Facts.
Adina, I could everybody you named, I could picture. I didn't even picture you. I picture your mom.
Yeah.
Drinking cognac or something to that music, or getting ready to do something to that music,
And talking shit.
It's
That's definitely the first time he heard Adina Howard.
yes.
T-shirt.
All right. Mel, you kind of quiet today. Yeah, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm just listening. I'm good.
Okay, you grinding over there. Okay, just
I
checking.
know we like missing somebody. If we like, I know we gotta move on, but I know it's somebody. Like I love music too much, and I know I'm disrespecting the game. I know I'm missing somebody that's like been in the game for a very long time and been consistent for a very long time. You feel me? And consistent in making slow jams, and like the reason why Hov should be on there because Hov got like it's the features like Tay said. Like when you throw the features in there, now we can party, we can slow it down, we can do a whole bunch. What about Little John?
I was just about to say that, bro.
Little John go 4 hours.
Yeah, and not just John though, just a lot of producers. Because when you think about it, Dre and Diddy could go for hell. Scott Storch could go for
Pre-code.
like you start Timberland, like them dudes.
Draco.
No, I said Scott Starks.
I thought that said Draco.
No. Hey, shout out to hey y'all. For anybody who don't know me, I'm real big into fragrance too. Shout out to Draco. He just came out with a new a niche fragrance, right? And the shit is good,
Please
man.
don't do that. Don't do
Stop
that.
nodding your head, Terrell,
Don't
bro.
do
Hold
that.
on, man.
Don't do that.
Hey, wait a minute.
Big Draco.
Terrell said he taking Soldier Boy over Lil Jon.
What?
Hey, look, let me tell y'all something though. See, people don't like his delivery and how he say shit, but a lot of shit he say be the truth. When he be like, people stole his style. Like, let's give him his flowers. The YouTube thing, he was the first rapper doing this YouTube thing. That Ariana Grande and all them, like them pop artists and stuff, they got all of that little flow. That shit is from him. He started a lot of this shit, man.
I see she face. I'm gonna say it. Just because you the first, don't mean you was the best, though, bro.
No, I ain't saying you don't think Ye, with everything Ye touch, can go 4 hours? She,
bro, I have the mental fortitude to say I don't give a shit what you got. I ain't doing it.
I got you.
Hey, I ain't doing it.
See, I understand. He got a little built-in shit. But
she just one of them men. Once he draw a line in the sand,
don't give a fuck about the music and nothing.
I don't give a fuck about nothing else. This is what it is, and that's all I respect.
I respect it.
Just ain't fucking with him. But I'm also gonna say this: Jay don't have the R&B features. I feel like in order to rock a party for 4 hours straight, you got to be able to slow it down while I could dance close while the hype. Ye just don't have that.
That's right.
He just got
what's
that? Slow jams.
Slow jams.
Right?
Yeah.
Classic.
He got a couple, but yeah, he don't got enough.
Yeah.
All right, let's hey, no lie, Josh, I rock with it. Hey,
JT.
I rock with it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I like that JT. I like that.
And it's across genres, right? It's across genres because JT got a lot of people don't sleep. He, of course, the country music he got, but he also got the Latin music too, right? With the boy he brought out, Romeo Santos, who was dope. I seen him in concert too. You know, like J2, he do a lot of stuff, man. He kind of like how Usher is too, in the sense how Usher found Bieber, Usher found Vito, you know, do that. Justin Timberlake does a lot of that, just in different genres. So we don't necessarily hear about them, but a lot of these top like Latin artists and country artists, like Justin Timberlake, be putting people on, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I like the JT pick. That's a good one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, JT can go.
But let's go ahead and transition to our last topic of the day. And I'm sure everyone has a strong perspective on this, which is the Jordan Poole and Draymond Green thing. Whereas this topic is actually NBA, you know, update previews and all of that, because preseason is already under wrap. I think the first game, like game 1, is it's 7 days away.
Yeah, it's 17th, something like that.
Yes, it's right. So it's here already. So we just talk a little bit about that, but I will be wrong if we didn't kick it off specifically with Draymond and Poole and let the conversation dive into where it goes. But what are you guys' thoughts? And for everyone who may not have seen the video, because I understand not all of us are sports dominated, or you know, our minds aren't always, you know, centered around athletics. It was a heated discussion in practice, right? Which kind of always happens in sports. Real, I see you with your hand raised. I got you. And from what I've read, he got under Draymond Green when he called him, "You Mr. Triple Double. You average under 8 points, under 8 rebounds on, you know." And Draymond, you know, I'm sure some other things you probably said, but people said from what I read is that's what really ticked Draymond off. And he walked up into Jordan Poole's space, and Jordan Poole kind of gave him a shove. Not kind of, he pushed him like back up. But to me, it looked like it was like, come on, bro, like back up. Because Jordan Poole pushed him and then kind of even like turned his head, like not trying to look like, man, move with all that. And tried to keep looking at practice. And as soon as he turned his head, Draymond, in MMA, they call it a Superman punch. He kind of like leaned up, kind of elevated a little bit, gave him a straight, and seemingly knocked him out. Since then, Draymond Green has apologized. He has announced that he will be taking some time from the team to kind of regroup and gather himself or whatever he needs to do for himself. But I just want to know, everyone, what's your guys' thoughts on that? If you're Jordan Poole, can that relationship with your boy or your teammate ever be the same again? Or is it one of them things, every day I see you, nigga, we got to fight again until one of us is traded? Like, what, you know, we're going to go ahead and let Real go first, because I've seen you being ancient waiting patiently. Go ahead. It's on you, Real.
All right, so for me, I'm cool with friendly fades. I kind of like push that. I don't push it, but if something has to get out there, then we can fight and be cool the next day. You know what I'm saying? That push, I don't think that was like a get out of my face push, because it was like a little, you know what I'm saying? I think that was like a what's like get back where it's gonna be on type push. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he should have snuck him like that. I think they could have handled that in the locker room, but it happened. I don't think that taking the time away from the team is going to do anything. It's just to make it better for the media. But yeah, they could squash that for sure.
Okay. All right, Josh, go ahead. Let's go ahead and give our guests some. Go ahead and let them share, because Josh look like he's super animated over there. Go ahead, Josh. What you think?
My bad, but like, like that's like my opinion. This is like it's one of those like he technically got to fight him again. Like he technically got to fight him again. If he doesn't do anything, like Jordan Poole, like that's all he's gonna be remembered. And I'm like, it's either go A, making or A, breaking. And like in today's society, I think it's gonna break him. Like I seen something that like Lamar Jackson said about it, like you will have to fight me until I retire. You know, and it's like not saying technically that he gotta fight until retire, but like that's it. Like you snuck him pretty bad, man. Like, and it's everybody's seen it already. Like you snuffed them pretty bad. So like he gotta fight him or like he gotta fight him, bro. Like it ain't no, oh, okay, you know, we're cool. I'm like, nah, you gotta. If I gotta sit outside your house every damn day, then we go. Yeah, we gotta fight.
All right, I hear you. All right. Anybody else? Howard, She, Tay,
I
Cam,
mean,
Mel, what you got?
to Joshua's first point, a lot of those tweets be kind of like when niggas be like, if I grew up in the slave times, I would have
Yeah,
been.
yeah.
A lot of that shit be like, bruh, shut up, nigga. We don't know. First and foremost, I was going to treat Draymond Green like Rasheed treats Kanye. I know how I feel about Dre. I was about to give him the Kanye treatment. You feel me? But first and foremost, they need to find the snitch who put the video out.
Yes.
First and foremost, bruh, how does he even? What you doing, bruh? How much they paid you for that? And you tripping? Because I think this type of like things happen all the time. But it also shows you the difference in the times and how, I guess you want to say, evolution of society has changed, because this necessarily wouldn't have been frowned upon as much when Mike Nim was playing. You know, it was like second nature. Now we live in a society where, like you were saying, Jordan Poole took a lot of hit, Josh, but just like Will Smith, Draymond is taking a lot. You feel me? And there's a lot coming this way. And I think society, to its benefit, is looking at people to hold themselves to a different standard, to use violence when it's like self-defense, not to use it as aggression. And I think that's where Draymond kind of slipped up at. But I also understand that in sports, you're going to have these confrontations. That's part of the game. That's just what it is. But also, Draymond, go sit your sorry ass down somewhere. I'm tired of your ass anyway. I'm just tired of niggas talking about you deserve the Hall of Fame. That's why he got mad. Being heard the same thing. Called him out on that bullshit, and then he get upset. Bro, you a used car salesman. You sold everybody a dream, and you're going to the Hall of Fame, and you got 4 championships, nigga. Kudos to you. Salute.
Hey, pride is a thing, man. It's same thing happened last year, which we don't know if it came to blows, but one of the reasons why it was reported James Harden, the breaking point between the James Harden and Kyrie's relationship was when they were in practice. Kyrie was getting the best of them, and that hit to your ego. Man, you wash, you sorry now, you fat, you old, you slow. And then they said they had to be separated. And from there, James Harden's like, get me the fuck out of here, you know? So a man's ego and pride is a thing. Another thing about it too, though, is just the embarrassment that comes along with it. Right. I always tell people 2 of the most dangerous men in the world is a man that ain't got nothing to lose and a man that's been embarrassed publicly, nationally embarrassed. Anything happen when, you know, I've seen and heard of plenty of times when in the street fight, somebody get beat up. See, getting beat up isn't the thing, but it's when you get the shit beat out of you. Right? When your girl seen it, when all your boys seen it, you at Cal Bowl or something like that, and everybody see each other as well. That's when the fuck that, let me go get my gun and come back, right? And above the rim, Tupac was embarrassed. That's why at the end of it, he said, hey, go handle your business, and had him go kill. You know, embarrassment is the thing, man. You know, so
yeah, man.
Man, I do agree it's part of sports, but it's just certain things you don't do in sports, man. I didn't play ball since I was 4 years old up till I was 22. You know what I mean? And my thing is always this: as a teammate, Beans, I'm gonna tell you, you owe me that, right? I'm gonna give you an opportunity to square up, and we go fight. And if you don't square up, I'm not gonna fire on you because you've proven to me that you don't want to fight, right? So character-wise, I'm not a bully, bro. Like I despise people like that. I'm not gonna do that to you. I've seen a lot of people talking about what Poole shouldn't have put his hands on him, right? What I feel like a lot of people don't take into account, you can non-verbally threaten somebody. And if we're having a heated conversation and you walk in my space, that is the threat.
Absolutely.
Right? And so with that, I think Beans, you spoke to it. It might have been, I mean, these cats is 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 260 pounds. So to get somebody off you, you're going to have to exert a little force. But nothing about his push was aggressive. He wasn't even looking at him when he pushed him.
Right.
You know what I mean? He presented as if somebody was almost intimidated. You feel what I'm saying? But you got to fucking believe we fighting every time you see me. Like it ain't, and don't let me tell my mama. Like what? Like we got to, bro, because at the end of the day, now when I say and do things in the locker room, now people looking at me funny, right? And I'll end it with this piece. This seems to be right, seems to be Draymond's MO. I have no respect for a bully. KD, he like to talk tough on Twitter, but KD ain't about that, right? You seen when he got ran out of there when he called him a bitch. He didn't even put his hands on him. He just called him a bitch. And so now you look to be this aggressor in this situation too. Like, bro, you don't put up enough points for this. And I will say, I do think Draymond's a Hall of Famer. However, I think he's a Hall of Famer due to the product of his environment and his situation. He lucked up and got with a team that really was able to play to his strengths. If he wasn't with that team, or he was on a team that required him to produce statistically,
Right.
Draymond would be a fucking modern day Luke Longley.
And F that. I think it was Jalen Rose on Jalen and Jacoby podcast, and he was saying that like Draymond is probably going to get a max, or he's gotten a max deal before, but he only will get a max. He's only worth the max contract to that team, to that organization, because what he can bring to them. You go somewhere else, Draymond, ain't nobody giving you a max. Golden State to stick it out and give you one, but nobody else will.
But to your point, Sheed, about bullies, you being Tay, or even Sheed, y'all remember what Zach Randolph told Marcus Cousin, Prophet Zach Randolph?
In my hood, I bully the bullies.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, no, he said bullies get bullets.
Oh, he said bullets?
Bullies get bullets.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said, in my hood,
That too.
bullies get bullets.
Oh, I thought it was I bully bullies.
No,
Yeah.
he leaned over and told him, listen, where I'm from, bullies get bullets. You feel me?
And that's true too.
That's true, bro. Like, I just don't understand why Draymond had to go there.
Y'all done touched on all the points, man. I'm gonna just say this: Draymond is doing what he's supposed to do, what they brought him there for, bro. He's there to be the bully. Now, I'm not saying he should have took it that far with his teammate, my nigga, but why y'all think he gonna stop doing that in practice when he, paid to do that shit on the court? Be the fucking bully.
Absolutely.
And,
I agree.
To Terrell's point, I don't think Jordan Poole won't no more, my nigga. I don't think he won't no more. He got hit hard enough to know he don't want to fight that man no more, bro.
Let me tell you something, Tay.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on real quick. So are you implying that the organization needs to be held just as accountable?
No, because that was an individual action. I mean, what could they do about him, bullying this nigga in practice?
But you're
The
saying
same thing they can do about MA doing the individual action, doing something. The hell yeah, the organization should be. Because if you watch the film, it looked like as things was growing, right? Because where there's smoke, there's a fire. And you seen the smoke happening, and you seen from Steph Curry looking the other way, other coaches looking they look damn near scared to go over there and say, hey, chill out. Like they were scared to even say something before
They look like this shit happens all the time.
That's what I got from it.
That's what they look like.
Right.
But what I was saying,
this ain't nothing new.
What I was saying, Tay, if this is what he's brought here to do, and this is the behavior that they enabled for all of these years, that's what I'm speaking to in terms of holding the organization accountable.
Okay. Look, it's gonna be a fucking suspension, something coming for him for sure. But like I said, they know who he is.
Right.
They know what they brought him there for. Like, he don't perform to the levels of these two that I'm about to name, Rodman and fucking Ben Wallace. But guess what they were? They were the bullies for that team. You can't tell me they didn't get in those squabbles in practice.
Right.
This shit just happened to get out. Like Howard said, find a snitch. Because this is a closed practice, bro. Find a snitch. We would have never heard about this shit. Who would have been walking around with a black eye? Wouldn't heard nothing about it.
Absolutely. I think you're right, Tay. Just like Patrick Beverly, like a lot of dudes, is how they make their money. Patrick Beverly would not be in the league if he wasn't an agitator, if he wasn't a pest, right? So I understand all of that. I've one who's been in plenty of fights with teammates throughout my life. Never in the hell would I have done that to a teammate though. Yeah. Like she said, hey, all right, keep on. We're gonna have to fight. Hey, we're gonna have to, all right, fuck it. Come on, put your shit down there. Whatever happens. But I'm not finna sneak my boy like that. Not somebody that I gotta depend on.
No fact. I think it goes back to what Cameron said. It goes back to our culture, the conversation we had about culture and character and all those things. Like even what she said, if it's your boy, you give him the opportunity, like, yo, bro, we gotta go do this. Put your shit up. But let's go fight. It ain't gonna be no snuck punch like he pushed him on the way and he do that shit. Like, nah, nigga, you gotta go fight.
Yep. Real quick, before we let she chime in too, I do want to say this. I've also read that. So I guess they were never really boys. People said there's always been some friction between them two. I don't know what it was from or what, and then some people say Draymond is also kind of upset because Pooh about to get that 130 million. And Draymond fighting for are y'all gonna resign me or y'all gonna let me walk free agent? Draymond felt disrespected, like this is a new pup, because in a sense he is, and then jealousy. Yeah, and then they are kind of from the same. I don't know if they're from the same area, but they both went to Michigan school. Draymond Michigan State, Poole went to Michigan, so it is something like this young 2-3 year dude come in and y'all giving him money, and I'm doing,
Poole can do what Draymond can't do.
Oh, absolutely.
The ball in the fucking bucket.
To your point, Howard, this is the future, bro. That other light-skinned nigga, he about to leave in a minute. He got his chips. He about to leave. This the next light-skinned nigga, bro. YouTube.
That's not gonna make it. Don't worry about it. That's not gonna make it. We
The thing is, Draymond's expendable. Draymond's expendable, right? With Kuminga, because them dudes gonna have larger roles. Wiseman coming back, like Draymond, you're expendable, But go ahead, She. We're gonna go ahead and pass this over to She. He wanted to add to today's show. Go ahead, She.
Are we these random topics?
Are we done with hoop?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
done with hoop. You go ahead.
I don't, and we go edit this out, but I think it's great for conversation, right? Darren Waller, right? Darren Waller has been a shell of himself, right? Darren Waller held out. A lot of people said Darren Waller held out in hopes of getting a contract extension. Now, I don't know this to be true, and obviously I'm not just making this shit up. Like, I read it somewhere. I don't know the validity, but I feel like, bro, this is what they said. They said some of his struggles right now is because he potentially relapsed. Now, for those that don't know, he's been like battling addiction throughout the course of his career. So I feel like, so my question to you guys, when people are battling addiction, right, is it fair to have those stipulations within their contract?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
Because I was about to say, like, damn, I didn't hear that one. Because, like, I'm a Raven fan, so, like, of course, like, I remember Darren Waller being there. Like, you would think he would get it, but I think that should be in the contract for sure. Like,
to protect him, or to hold him accountable and to protect the team or organization.
To hold him accountable. Like, because you would, like, no bullshit. You would think he would have got it. Like,
addiction is a cold motherfucker. Though. That's why it's such a delicate question.
Yeah, because I remember one of the guys that also played with he said it on one of the podcasts how they both used to do drugs together, and the other guy died, right? Lorenzo, he had died. So I was like, I said, like, they should definitely put that in his contract to hold him accountable, because it's like, that's what he kept saying, like, it's the accountability. Like, 1 week we'll start again next week. We'll start again next week. Like, but not like that's a serious thing.
Is the accountability though? Is the accountability help or is it protection? Howard, talk to me, bro.
I think it's both. If Kyler Murray had to get a stipulation, meaning saying he had to study because he's not a studier. He doesn't put himself in the books and do the things that he needs to do to be held accountable on that football field Sunday, and the team know it. So we want to give you this 130 or 20 million, whatever it was, but we know you.
Facts.
Waller.
I hope it's not true. I hope
it's not true. But if it is, let's just say that this is true, right? And I hope it's not true. I really hope it's not true, because the boy's a tremendous talent. But if it is true, we know you. Right? So this is for both of us. We're taking a chance on you by giving you this big ass bag, but we also taking a chance on us. So it's a symbiotic relationship.
It's business.
So we're just hoping that both sides take care of what they take care of. Again, I really hope that's not the case, but like you said, addiction is such a finicky subject because people always shit on people who have drugs addictions.
For sure. But
we all have a coping mechanism to an emotional response.
1,000%.
Everybody in this chat. What I tell you niggas in the group chat for Garage, if I gave up weed about 5 times last week, I'm still smoking. You feel me? So we just keep it one.
Facts.
We all have something to deal with the feelings as opposed to just sitting with them. So I will hope. So I would. So I said to say I would never judge whatever addiction you have, but I really will hope that that's not the case with my boy Waller.
What says it? The addiction? What did they specify?
Opiates.
What drug? Huh?
Opiates. Oxy.
Okay.
Pills, yeah.
Okay.
Like the hardest one to break. Like,
Yeah.
that shit is hard to break. It's like almost like heroin, bro.
It is
I'm gonna
heroin,
s-
synthetic.
It is heroin,
Yes.
my nigga. She, thank you. Right.
Yes. In my opinion, it doesn't matter if it's for his protection or for the organization's protection. Regardless, it benefits him, right? So whatever reason why if it's like the accountability or it's in his contract, it's still going to benefit him. It whether it says as a motivator for him or to not use or whatever. I also hope that the organization is taking time and energy and effort to invest into him mentally and physically as well, right? Helping him get the
Facts.
aid, not
Good
just
point.
if you do this, we're gonna not pay you this, or we're gonna fine you, whatever. I would really hope that. And like you guys said, it's a sad thing, right? And there's no such thing as a full recovery once addiction has occurred. It's a lifelong journey, so it's something that you got to battle with every single day of your life. And that's one of the reasons why I believe, and don't get me wrong, I'm not the biggest religion guy, but I feel like faith has to be there somewhere, somehow, right? Through something. You need that faith, you need that strong foundation. For some, that faith could come in the form of a spouse, in the form of your kids, or religion, whatever.
Higher
But
power.
you have to find something, because at the end of the day, without it, you fighting unfair battle. It's 2 against 1, 3 against 1, like whatever number you want to put on it, but you're outgunned. Like, you're gonna need something or someone to kind of help you through those tough times. I hope it's not true, but it very well could be. So
I hope it's not, bro.
And it ain't no way to end it. You know what I mean? I was just very curious, man, because we put up so many of these athletes on these different pedestals, and our expectations for them, right, are so grand. And oftentimes, as athletes, we have your expectations as a professional athlete is, oh, you can do that. You should be able to endure, withstand whatever. But as a mutual man, it's like, oh, I'm having a bad day, so I didn't want to show up with the fellas. But you expect me to go out here and drop 30 and 30 when I'm going through a divorce, or when I'm going through this, or you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I hope it's not the case, man. If it is, it's super sad. And to your point, Beans, I really hope that he's getting the support. I can care less about football. I really can. You know what I mean? He ain't did shit for me all year on fantasy. I can care less about football. But however, I do want the man to get the help that he deserves, if in fact that is the struggle, man, because that's a shitty situation to be in.
You made a good point, bro, because we look at athletes and be like, well, that's an athlete or a celebrity. It comes with a lot of quote unquote prestige. And rightfully so, they worked hard to get in that position, but that's a motherfucker just like you. That goes through the ups and downs of life. Life, like everybody be like, life be life. It's my wife's favorite shit. Life be life. And I always be like, man, let me go beat this nigga life. I'm tired of that nigga life and everybody. But life be life into them niggas too. So, like, yo, that's just an unbiased judgment. Life probably life to them on a higher plane than it life to us. Because they dealing with pressures and shit that we wouldn't even fucking understand. If I get you $130 million and now you can't even get 100 yards and got a touchdown, we ain't dealing with those pressures.
Right.
My nigga, I went to work today at 7:30. What was you at 4:30? Like, what are we talking about? How can I judge him? But he gotta be there. You get what I'm saying? No, she be the tape. Like, that person has to be there. It's pressure that we don't even understand. It comes with Darren Waller. It comes with being LeBron James. Certain levels. So to put them on a pedestal, like, life, probably even fuck with them. To whom much is given, much is expected. I'll leave it at that.
Period.
Yep. And I'll just add this: there's only a few athletes or a few celebrities or figures that perform regardless. I feel like Psycho Tom. I don't give a fuck what's Tom going through. I feel like when he going through pressure in his life, it makes Tom Brady play better. Kobe, Jordan, Cam, shout out to you, because Beyonce. I seen something when she was going through such. She was like, "Look, these people paid their money to see me perform. I don't give a fuck what's going on in my personal life. For this next hour and a half, I'm finna go out here and get these people a show," type of thing. But majority of the people, to your point, Howard, They're not robots, they're humans. And we forget the human aspect of things, right? From the celebrity that have 5 babies with a stripper and get paid out of his money. Some niggas is just that happens all the time in life. And just because he's a celebrity don't mean that, he got a better team around him, right? You look at Carmelo, but then you look at LeBron, who got he more buttoned up, and not saying Bron doing anything, but you know what I'm saying. Like he do stuff. If he goes a different route. He's smart about it than Melo, right? Some niggas is just people are
Some
human. They
niggas
gonna
know how
make
to
human
manage their
mistakes,
emotions better.
right?
If you know how to manage your emotions, that's all. In my opinion, that's what it comes down to. Kobe went through a whole ass divorce, but he channeled that anger into basketball and dropped 40 every time he went to court.
Yep.
He just knew how to manage his emotions. Everybody don't have that, bro.
And it sounds easy. It sounds like just a switch. But
Yeah.
and we all know each other, and we all go through stuff. There was certain stuff we can't show up for. But if we were an athlete, we're expected to.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
I mean, when I go to shit, I don't go to work. Let
Yeah,
alone go,
facts, bro.
let alone go out here and drop 20 and 10. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's difficult, and it always goes back to the same shit, man. Just make sure y'all showing each other grace. Make sure y'all spending time with yourselves, man, and make sure y'all being the best version of yourself to yourself, and everything else go fall in line.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for today's show. We appreciate everybody for coming out and rocking with us. We hope to see you back next week, same time. We'll try to do our best to get a post out to our social media platforms to let you guys know the topics ahead of time. If you don't follow us on social media, please follow us on. I believe we have every social media outlet now, and they're all pretty much the same, right? At Garage Days, right? So
Twitter-
please go out.
Twitter is
Yeah.
garage_days.
And Twitter's garage_days. Thank you, She. So please go out, follow, repost, help us grow this thing, because at the end of the day, we're doing this for you guys. We're doing this for everyone. The goal is to grow this enough to where we all on a large platform, and our voices and our concerns and our unique perspectives are always being shared. All right. How are you, silly? But as I thank you guys for being with us, and we'll see you guys back next week, same time, same day. And thank you. And don't be afraid to have a drink on the show too, guys. It's just today I got a basketball game. Otherwise, I would. But be
Hey,
yourself
Bean,
at
what
all
time your game
times.
tonight?
That's what I'm
What time your game
promoting.
tonight, Bean?
You ain't
Coulda
get 20 and
sweated it
10.
7:30.
You could have sweated it out.
Basketball at the Dart. I was out there last time. Bean at a game at 9:00. Like, where we going, bro? At 9:00?
Yeah,
This don't
man.
make no sense.
Sometimes. Yeah. But all right,
All right,
y'all.
y'all.
I'll rock with y'all. Appreciate the love, everybody, and the support. See y'all next episode.
Peace and love.
All right, y'all.
All right.